What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of Cubreacts. We are about to jump into another track off the brand new Fireboy Dml album. This one featuring a very special guest. He goes by the name Rema. This one, it goes by the name Compromise, and I am so excited to get into this. These are two of, I want to say, the new school heavyweights in regards to the sounds that are coming out right now. Rema's album came out earlier this year, and I really liked it as an album project. Something very different and outside the box. I'm really enjoying exploring this brand new Fireboy project so far. There hasn't been a track on there that I feel has been a dud. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this one goes. As always, friends, if you are new to the channel, do make sure you are getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page. Turning notifications on, of course, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. The aim is for us to hit 50k by the end of the year, and with your help, we can definitely do that. So let's jump right into the sounds of this one then. Really excited to see how it sounds. Let's go. Very digi drums.
Compromise. Not because of you I compromise. Not because of you I compromise.
Immediately from the jump, man, what I've heard about this album so far and what I've taken in from this album is that every track has a catchy element. Now, this isn't a bad thing. It's something that we saw on Diamond Platinum's EP earlier on in the year. It's something we've seen on numerous albums this year, to be honest with you. The idea of having songs that have a catchy element without making them necessarily pop-driven or kind of based on mainstream idealism. Like, you could still have tracks that have catchy elements. Even this, just from the beginning. Compromise, and now you want him here, compromise. Catchy. Instantaneously catchy.
It is where I know they do, but because of you I done they compromise. Okay, Mute, would you come tonight? Shall I come to yours or you come to mine? Anyhow we be, we go compromise.
I love how digital these drums are.
Compromise. Compromise.
Really shuffling on the rhythms as well.
Compromise.
Focusing a lot on the backdrop of this one. This one's only a 3-minute 16 tune, so they don't have that much time to kind of get into different verses, choruses, and stuff like that. The intro is essentially what I believe to be one of the hook sections, and then this kind of extended vocal kind of menagerie of different things going on, just different layers, electronic layers in there, normal organic layers in there as well. So it's a really interesting introduction, I've got to say. Not what I expected at all from a tune like this, and the drums are so digital. They sound like they're straight off an 8-bit like drum pad from like the 80s. Like, it's crazy.
Compromise. I've she been with any other girl, yeah, when I'm on talk. My baby, the first other guy is for me, cause she's in love. Don't know, I don't feel insecure. Bust down on the track. I know what the sacrifices I made for her.
I'm loving the intertwining of the vocals as well, man. Like, this is interesting. This, I feel, is already one of the more experimental things we've heard from the album. Just how kind of almost 80s a lot of these sounds are. The synthesizers, if you were to take them out of this context, would sound quite 80s in their natural sound. The drums that are being used sound like they're literally off like a TB-303 or something like that, but with the attack turned like all the way down, and the release turned all the way down. So you've just got these very kind of sharp, like sort of sounding drum sounds. And then on top of that as well, just the way the vocals are kind of been processed, the way they're intertwining, you just kind of hear them both go off on vocal runs at the bottom, like and it's just kind of this like slow climb and then this circular kind of ascension. Really interesting vocal techniques, man.
Because of you I compromise. Not because of you I compromise.
It's interesting the tune's called Compromise, and it's about, obviously, like clearly a relationship. That's what it's clearly about. But the fact that they are both kind of intertwining so well on the tune almost adds to that idea. Like, you have to have two things involved to make something work well, and if you do have two things involved, you have to work on how they are going to intertwine. And it's a cool kind of almost vocal metaphor for the meaning behind the tune, which I really like. I love hearing little things like that. Again, this is a really bizarre one. Like, I don't know whether I'm 100% sold on it just yet, purely because it is very different, very out there. there. But me personally, I don't have an issue with artists trying stuff that's a bit more out there on albums. My issue with this album in the build-up to it was that it was going to be very Americanized. This doesn't sound super Americanized to me. This just sounds super digitized, which is another thing I predicted would happen. The album would be very electronic. And this is kind of playing true to that as an idea. And it's great. It's very out there, very different. It's going to take my ears a little while to settle to this as a sound, but I'm not saying it's bad in any way. It's just different, and it's abstract, and it's out there, which I love.
It is we I know they do, but because of you, I don't they compromise. Okay, Mute, would you come tonight? You like up to yours, so you come to mine. Anyhow we be, we go compromise. I no go mind if you pass the night. I no get the answer if you ask me why. All that I know is I love you and I cannot let this moment pass me by. I looked into her eyes and asked her.
Those little backing vocals are what is making. I can't even speak. Though it's late on, guys. It's late in the day. I played 2 games of football today. I am tired. And I did a live space. Today's been a busy day in regards to like being active and thinking. But what I do like about this is the use of backing vocals. The fact that you have got both of them kind of sliding into the backdrop when one person's kind of going on a lead vocal riff, and then the person in the background is just kind of going, and just providing additional texture to the backdrop. The instrumental itself, again, it's very digital, but it's also quite sparse in regards to arrangement. Like, you've got the drums, you've got that lead kind of boom, 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 boom. That very simple chord progression going on there on what sounds like a very 80s sounding synthesizer. The bass line down below, again, chopping ever so slightly and peaking ever so slightly, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm a little bit perplexed by this one, I can't lie.
This love, she say love is sacrifice. If I have to die, bring me back to life. Call on me, call on me. Anytime you need me, just call on me. Call on me, call on me. Say I only I want to call on me. He wanna call no more, call on me. He wanna call ni mole sorasi. He wanna call ni mole bossy. He wanna call no le back on me.
You hear how potent those backing vocals are, though. Like, it's very, very apparent that they went into the studio going, look, we've both got cool vocals that would sound cool as backing vocals as well. This is a cool collaboration when you see it on paper as well. You kind of look at Fireboy Dml, Rema, Omar Lay, and CK. I'd say I kind of like the 4 of the newer names that are really pushing boundaries worldwide and really kind of at that level underneath your sort of WizKids, Burners, and Davidos. Like, these are kind of like the newer school kind of elite, shall we say. And people may have other people in that area. People may have these guys not that high. People may have them on the same plateau as obviously Wiz and Burner and Davido. I kind of hold those 3 above everyone else, and then everyone else is kind of working towards getting to that level. But you can hear the evolution of the sound more than anything else.
Because of you, I compromise. Because of you, I compromise. Many things we I know they do, but because of you, I don't take compromise. Okay, would you come tonight? You like up to yours, so you come to mine. Anyhow we be.
Love that on the backing vocal. Now, I don't know if this is me just overthinking a very kind of, not simple, but kind of quite I suppose quite understandable music technique, but are they using the term compromise and then kind of saying, look, if you do compromise and come to a cool solution, it's a little bit all over the place at the beginning, but then they start to sound more intertwined, and then towards the end of the tune you then get this beautiful kind of harmonious backdrop coming together, which is what happens when you do compromise. So I don't know if that's an idea they've kind of come up with and decided to run with on purpose, but that's definitely something you hear running throughout the heart of this one. Really, really cool, man. Again, cool collaboration. We'll let this one run through to the end and then give it our final breakdown. Again, hopefully we aren't going to have to chop it down. I do hope we won't have to. We didn't have to chop down the first one, but yeah, I'm enjoying this. Let's go. Really interesting choice in vocal melody as well. There we go. Nice breathy outro to this one. Fireboy Dml off the Playboy project Compromise featuring Rema. Really, really nice. Very much out there. Very different. Very abstract. Very much outside the box that we would expect certain artists to be working within and around. So, again, bringing Rema into this one's really cool. As I said, another member of this kind of very highly ranked, very kind of highly thought of collection of artists that have really burst onto the scene in the last couple of years. And another another person who's released an album this year. So to see them both getting involved on each other's project, I always love to see that. Again, it started off a little bit all over the place, but as your ears kind of understand what's going on, they start to normalize to the production itself, which is very abstract. Again, the actual drum structures are very kind of sharp and very kind of digitized. But then when you hear that as the tune goes on, you start to, I suppose, if to put it as a metaphor, you start to understand the peculiarities of what you're kind of involving yourself with. You then start to compromise and your ears start to go, okay, that's going to sound like that. I can deal with that. And then you get towards the end of this tune and you've got this big kind of harmonious sort of backdrop of choir sounds and very kind of heavenly kind of vocal layers. And it's a cool metaphor for what compromise actually does in life. So there we go. I enjoyed this one. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Is it a collab that makes sense? Did you enjoy the journey of the tune? Was it a little bit all over the place for yourself to begin with as well? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, if you're new to the channel, do make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. We shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cubreacts TV. Stay locked.